And I guess let's go ahead and, since we're in a good position here, I guess, as best as we're going to be at this point anyway. Let's go ahead and deploy the big antenna. If you haven't seen it, it's going to be a big surprise for you. Look at that. Hello guys, welcome back to Gemini Gamers. This is episode number 20, so we've gone through a lot already of our Galileo career conquest. And this episode, as I said last episode, we're going to be doing a little bit of maintenance to our communication system. It's becoming obsolete, especially since we're starting to fly out into deeper parts of the space, of the universe, I guess, solar system. We barely got any data out into otho at this point. As you can see, we barely get any. It's a red line, which means it's under 10% at this point. And, so that's a big issue because, you need your probes. And since we're doing exploration with probes right now, that's a problem because we need to keep communication up. If not, we lose all of the data and we can't control the ship anymore. And, and there's no point because then we can't maneuver and then we're going to probably hit something and burn and crash and die. And that's just sad. So I'd rather not. Did I turn? Yeah, I did turn that on. Okay, so good. So yeah. So basically, we're just gonna put a big satellite at the top. This time it's a little different, as you can see. If you've been watching the series, you can see this little satellite. It's a lot bigger, actually, for first off, and it has a big giant. It's a very strange shape, but I did that on purpose. And if you haven't seen what type of antenna or why I'm building this way, you'll see in a bit once you get this thing up in space. So let's go ahead and launch it here, full power, and hopefully everything works out and we get this little satellite up in space. We're gonna do one launch, I think, one launch by itself, and then after that, I don't think I'm gonna do all the other two because we need 2 more satellites to get the exact coverage that we need. So everything basically at that point, the coverage around everything. So yeah, for now that's just the way it's gonna be. I'm gonna do one and then I'm gonna go back to the otho system and see if we can get a nice little flyby of the planet with the probe that we parked up there, since it's still just flying up there. And once that's done, we will end the episode, I think. So you don't get bored of me watching me launch 3 similar rockets, similar payload, stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully you don't mind, and if you do, then leave a comment and I'll try my best to show every launch then, if that's what you want. I don't know why you would want that, but whatever. So again, we're going to go into geosynchronous orbit around the planet, which means that around this area, I guess. Similar area on there, which is good. I put a little capsule here for maintenance if we ever need to maintain or add something to this little satellite. I do want to build a space shuttle at some point, just because, you always need to do that. It's a fun thing to build. It's a challenge. It's challenging. It's not as easy as you would think. So you always do that. You should always do that in your career mode. No real reason to do it, just for fun purposes, I guess you could say. And in the end, it's better. Trust me, it's a lot better. You end up having a lot more success at building other simpler things because you know how to balance a ship once you build a space shuttle, and you can add like payloads to the side of your rockets and stuff like that. So it's beneficial. You get fun out of it, and you learn how to do something new. So whatever. Very cool. So anyway, I don't think I mentioned this last episode, but we ended up with a lot of money and a lot of science, as you can see here. 900 points of science. That can get us the nuclear rockets that we desperately need. So we're going to do that, I think, as we're going to try to go to. And that was just one planet. We got 900 science points out of one planet. The next planet will probably, which is going to be, let's see here, Gauss, I think. Otho, and that's Gauss. Yeah, Gauss will probably give a little bit less science since it only has a smaller amount of moons. which means we're not going to get the same amount, especially since we cannot go for a landing with the ship that we sent, which is kind of disappointing. I've been thinking about it, and yeah, I'm a little sad that I didn't put a little lander. We ended up having a lot more fuel than we thought we would, which is good, which means that we can use the rocket that we launched to actually get us to other places with bigger payloads. Maybe even a manned capsule at this point. I guess it's possible. We could probably do it. Probably a little bit less heavy weight though. Just a capsule and a couple science experiments and maybe a bigger tank. And I'm pretty sure we can make a mission with a return trip and maybe even a sample return in one of the simple smaller moons, since Otho does have a lot of moons, so maybe. But for now, we're just going to finish up the 3 missions that we launched. The next one's going to be Gauss in the next episode, and the episode after that is going to be the Nero mission, which is one of the furthest planets away at this point. It's the last gas giant. So, and I think it's the one with the rings, so that one's going to be one that you want to watch, I think. And also, in missions coming up, I think we're going to probably, after this, are going to have enough science to unlock plane parts and stuff like that, which means that... Ooh, a little bit... Not the most efficient way to separate a rocket there, but it's working. It's okay. So anyway, the next mission is probably going to be a mission to Lumo, I think. Well, I don't know. I don't know, but I want to do a mission to Lumo where we send a plane, just so we can do a little more exploration on that planet, since it is a very, very unique planet in that it's the only one that you can use jet engines, and that's true. It sucks because that means that you can't do it in any other planet. So... or a moon. So I was hoping that maybe at Gauss we could get a couple of planes out there, since the moon does have an atmosphere. One of the big moons has an atmosphere, and the moon of the moon has an atmosphere. So very cool stuff there. And if we could get our nice little plane out there with a nice little jet powered system, we could fly out there. But that's not going to happen due to the way that the atmosphere is, the composition of the atmosphere. No oxygen means no jet engines, which sucks. But whatever. So, anyway, we can get a better view of the little satellite that I launched here. A little bit better here. Couple solar panels, big solar panels, small antenna, medium antenna, large antenna. And I'll show you the large antenna in a bit. So, don't worry about that. Go ahead and turn the lights off. We don't need the lights yet. So, the antenna, the range of it is 1.0 T, meaning that it's basically the biggest one we got in terms of range and size. So, hopefully this provides us with signal all the way up to the moon that we're going to. I mean, not the moon, the star that orbits this other system called Granus. And if you haven't seen it, it's just basically a big red star. Small red star, actually. But yeah, hopefully with this system we can do that, and if not, I'll figure it out. Probably it could do it if we add another antenna onto like the ship that we're sending out there, which probably will have to be a big ship due to the distance that we're going anyway. So I don't know how long it's gonna take, but it's gonna be a couple years. And one of the missions out to Nero is taking me 26 years, surprisingly, which it's not the best, but I mean, it has to Nero. This one is going to take 26 years to reach its target, which sucks, but whatever. Ooh, and I actually missed the spot where we needed to start burning there. But yeah, so it's going to be a long time, probably a couple hundred years, maybe 200 years around there. But since the Kerbals have an unlimited lifespan at this point, as long as you don't smack them into something hard enough, they'll be fine, which is good. Very good, very good. Just canceling all our vertical velocity. We didn't do it the most efficiently way, but be good, be good. We got enough delta V to do the circulation, and then a boost up into higher orbit, which will get us into the geosynchronous altitude that we need. And then we'll park the thing up there, and then hopefully that gives us enough range to do what we need to do. So we're almost at orbit pretty much here, and I'm just going to go ahead and burn all the way till we get into orbit. Alright, perfect. Alright, now all we need to do is identify which of these little rock satellites that I parked up in high orbit is right above the Space Center. So the Space Center Somewhere around here, I think, yeah. So that means that we have nothing parked up there. But this is the closest one, so I'm going ahead and set that one as a target. And honestly, I don't like the way that orbit is. So maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not a good idea. We should probably pick one that's in a better position, huh? Let's see if I can find one. Alright, there we go. That activates a bit more things. So this one's probably the better position here. Set as target. I guess. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, definitely. That one's good. Okay, so that's the one we're going to go for. But let's go ahead and deploy the solar panels. If I can click it, there we go. Extend panel and activate radiator if we can. Good, good. Another problem I've been thinking about is the bigger nuclear engines that we have here in the game also require cooling because they're using liquid hydrogen, meaning that we need to power our ship. And clearly, if you haven't seen, I don't remember which episode it was. I think it was the Gratian episode. No, it wasn't the Gratian episode. It was one of the Tuluma missions. We ended up losing hydrogen even though we had a lot of power, and that's because a glitch in the game where it didn't let us keep a constant source of energy, even though we had solar panels basically pointing at the sun at that point. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go, though. It's just something you have to deal with at that point. So anyway, let's go ahead and plot this orbit here and get onto the altitude that we need to be at, hopefully. And that would work, I think. Something like that, I think. Maybe slow down a little bit. And push it this way. Once we get up there, we will just slow down completely, and then hopefully we can get a nice little orbit with zero inclination around the planet, and that will probably help us out, do what we need to do. And this thing is getting really hot. This little cooler is getting hot. It's good and all, but I don't know. I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate heat in my rockets, except when it's, coming out of them through the engines, but whatever. So anyway, our channel got the first little demonetization yellow icon, if you know what that is. We were a little surprised because, we basically don't, our content is basically gaming, and concerning that, it's basically Minecraft and KSP and a little bit of spin tires here and there. And that's a little weird since we basically don't really talk about anything. I mean, anything bad, at least. We avoid controversial topics as much as possible concerning politics and stuff like that and other stuff like that. So we don't mind, we understand all that. I didn't realize that thing was going to spin like that. Oh well, a little glitch there. A little, you know what I mean. Clipping, I guess. So anyway, yeah, we avoid all that, and we avoid all bad words and stuff. Every once in a while I let one loose, like when I mess up and stuff like that, but you'd expect it to be not that big of a deal, right? It's just a bad word. And yeah, so anyway, it's not a big issue for us since we're not making any money out of this anyway. A couple cents here and there, but not nothing to be crying about. And since we barely make any money, and our money is coming in from long-term videos, ones that get views over time. Since we're not very popular, we hit 65 subscribers today though, so we're going up a little bit. And so yeah, it's no big deal for us since we don't make money early on the videos and stuff like that, so no problem in that regard. But I do understand why other YouTubers are PO'd about it, because, most of the bigger YouTubers, at least, most of their views come in on the first day, like the majority of their views. Like, most people watch them on that day, meaning that, the most amount of the revenue comes in on that during that time. And when you cause the thing to not actually want to be monetized, so no ads play on it. I understand why people would get mad with that and stuff like that, and you know, you consider, sometimes you're like, they got money no matter what, you know. And very nice little launch. So yeah, it's just a little concerning. And then, you know, it sucks to be one of those guys, because, you know, they do put a lot of work into their videos, more than I do. I mean, I'm a noob compared to them at this point. And, you know, you would understand. And then you doing YouTube, I get a lot more why they would get angry. And I do get why YouTube should fix that. Because, see, the problem is that once we get it for like a day or two, right? And at that point, it doesn't matter. We usually get 6 or 7 views when we upload a video at the best out of our subscribers that we have currently. And that means that, okay, yeah, we lose 6 views. But once we upload a successful video, by the time it gets over like 1K view or 500 views, we already got the thing reviewed and stuff like that. And by itself, it usually updates by itself, and it, you know, it goes off and it engages and lets the monetization go off again. And once that happens, you're good to go. But that's usually after a couple of days. So the most I've seen it happen is after 3 days, which is okay. I don't mind. But just a little bit weird. A little bit weird the way they're doing it. I don't think it's a good way. They should probably figure out a way better way to do it. But, you know, I do understand why they have to, you know, not put ads on other things. And it's a money thing. It's not... You gotta understand it's a money thing. And, you know, and overall, I guess if it wasn't a money thing, and they were just letting it go, they could lose a lot of money. The company, YouTube, Google, I guess, would lose a lot of money from advertisers and stuff like that. And overall, that would be worse, because then no one's getting any money. But at least now, you know, the companies get something to cry about and stuff like that, I guess you could say. And that means that overall, things will be good, I think. Once, at least after a couple days for now, unless something really bad is on the video and stuff like that, then it will never get updated and stuff like that. But whatever, not a big deal for us. We don't get any revenue out of it anyway. At least not now, but hopefully soon we get something. You know what I mean? Every once in a while, we do get a couple views on video, and we end up getting like $1 or something out of it, and that's cool. And I'm planning on later on expand the video a little more. I'm gonna get Jay to also record and upload stuff like that. I'm just a little worried he's not gonna do a decent job with it. You know, he's a little younger than me, and he's around. I don't know exact age, forget. But yeah, he's younger than me. He's a little bit, you know how people are with computers. So he'll learn it. He's very good at learning computer stuff. He plays a lot and stuff like that. So yeah, but for now, I'm just trying to do it myself. And eventually, he hopefully will upload a video every once in a while, if not every day, if he can. Probably not every day, because he has school. And, you know, school is more time consuming than college. So, at least in my opinion, college has been pretty easy for me overall. And yeah, so, you know, hopefully that increases the video output. Maybe a couple videos per day. I usually end up with a lot of content every once in a while that I want to release. Like, oh man, I want to upload this KSP episode today, but I also want to upload this other Spin Tires episode today. So it's an issue. It's an issue to deal with, and it's a good issue to have, because sometimes you end up not having any ideas or any videos to upload, and you're like, oh no, what am I gonna do now? But overall, I think it's a very good issue to have. Alright, so we're in that orbit. Not perfect. Not perfect at all, since we're a little bit higher than we should be. But we need to get this inclination. Or we can find it here. Let's get the orbit. Let's see. Inclination 8. That's bad. That's very bad. But anyway, we're up here at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple little maneuvers to get in the right orbit, and then hopefully you guys are still around when I'm done with doing that, which is gonna be in a couple seconds. But usually people click off when they do that, I think. At least I do. So yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, so yeah, I'll do the couple little maneuvers to correct the orbit, since the video's getting a little bit longer and I still want to do the otho thing. So we'll see what happens. All right, so BRB, I'll get this thing in the right orbit, and hopefully we'll move on to the other thing. All right, guys, so we're here. I did a little bit of correction. Still not perfect, but I think it'll do. We're gonna put more stuff up here anyway, so no big deal. And also we got the better position, slightly, not the best, but I managed to get a little bit better position over the center. So we're good on that. And I guess let's go ahead and, since we're in a good position here, I guess, as best as we're going to be at this point anyway. Let's go ahead and deploy the big antenna. If you haven't seen it, it's going to be a big surprise for you. Look at that. Look at that thing right there. Isn't that a big antenna? Look at it. Oh man, that's a big antenna. Very, very, very big antenna. Oh my. Very big antenna. Alright. Maybe if I can get a better view of it, I think. Maybe like this? Something like that. I don't know. It's a very big antenna, by the way. The biggest in the game, as far as I know. There might be a bigger one, but for now, this is the biggest we got unlocked. Man. Imagine when we get big ships big enough to where this looks small, you know what I mean? Soon, hopefully. Alright, anyway. Alright, guys, so that's pretty much it for that work part of this episode. We get the big antenna, we got connection, hopefully with the thing where we want. Let's see if we get it. Let's see, is anything right? So let's see here. Looks like there's a big green antenna coming out of it right here. Okay, so that's going that way into otho. We do have a connection. Let's activate this stuff. And also we want to see the crew capsules, so we have any. So anyway, so it looks like, yeah, we get enough connection all the way out to Gauss. Since this is close pretty much. And yeah, we're getting connection with the Gauss EP1. But no Nero. Oh dear, that's gonna be a problem, fellas. Okay, so Nero is not a good thing. We may need to launch a ship to, to increase the range at this point, because I don't think we got the range, since it's gonna go even further beyond than that. Look, it's basically a little more than halfway there at this point, and it has to go further than that. So, ooh. Alright, so we got a lot more stuff to do then. So this isn't going to be the final iteration then, since we need more data connections. But, I mean, it's a big antenna, guys, so whatever. Either way, we got it done this episode. So one of the satellites is up. In between episodes, I'm going to do the other thing. And also, let's go ahead and go on to the otho probe so we can maybe get a better view of the planet or something. Something cool, just so you don't get a little screwed over by me. So let's go ahead and view here and look at our probe. Our probe is getting direct connection from the space center. No, from the satellite that we just put up, I think. So good, very good. So the big antenna that we put up has a larger connection range than the space center antenna, so very good. So let's go ahead and switch over here, and my plan is to come in close to the planet, maybe on the dark side, so we can get a bit of that thunder and stuff. So yeah, right. So let's switch over right now. All right, guys. So I started the burn, and we're gonna get pretty close, at least to the atmosphere height. As you can see here, is 600,000 meters. So I think we're gonna go down to 650. And once that's good to go, we will be able to get a good, nice little view of the dark side of the planet, which we didn't get last time. And if you didn't know, we have auroras, and I just noticed that. Did I say that? Aurora. Man, hard words. You can see them a little bit better down here. Auroras. I guess, I don't know. Very, very strange. I mean, not strange, because, the gas giant has a gigantic magnetic field. If it's anything like Jupiter in our world. So, do we have the delta V? Yeah, we do. We definitely do. So, if it's anything like Jupiter, the magnetic fields in this thing must be massive. So, it's understandable for them to have a lot of aurora on top of the North Pole and South Pole, and I guess some of the moons shoot too. I didn't notice it in Augustus. So let's go check. Nope, none. So I guess Augustus has no magnetic field whatsoever, which means there's no life here no matter what. At this, maybe underground, but most likely none at all, because you know how that, radiation is worse than weather conditions for life. So yeah, sad but true. Most likely no life at all to be found on that planet. Planetoid, whatever it's called, whatever. It doesn't matter. But anyway, if you haven't seen the last episode, go ahead and watch it. We do a lot more exploration of this system. A lot, and I mean a lot. So go ahead and watch that, since it is important. And I wonder... Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Since I don't know how much longer we got for this to encounter this, that's fine. But for this one, I'm worried for this one. So we may need to launch a very big rocket to go ahead and make sure we keep communication with that other star system or whatever. Planet, sorry. I'm getting my words mixed up right now. My terms, I guess. Planet system. There you go. So, yeah. It's going to be tough. I will give you that. It's not going to be easy. But I guess we didn't expect that. But, this wasn't a planned mission. So if I had planned it out a little bit better, maybe we would have had this better off. The communications wise. But I assumed that we would have been fine. But, we aren't. So, or maybe we could still be fine if we could get the right system set up. But I'm still going to do the same thing. I'm going to set up the big antenna satellites around the planet of Gale, so we can get a better range coverage of everything at this point, so we don't end up having any issues later on and stuff like that. And then I will think of what I'm going to do. I may even launch an emergency communication sat in case we end up losing communication with the satellite, the probe that's going into Nero, which is the furthest one away. So that's what I'm going to do next. Between episodes, I'm pretty sure, Nero, since Nero is really far away. And even then, the Gauss probe is already struggling to communicate with the Nero probe, so that's a problem. So I will figure it out, don't worry. You won't have to watch me brainstorm or anything like that. Oh, and we're already going deep into the atmosphere. We don't want to go deep into the atmosphere. No, not yet. We could probably touch it a little bit, but we don't want to. Or maybe we should. I don't know. 6. We can go a little bit lower than that. We're going to go a little low. And by a little, I mean a lot. So, we'll see. Slow down a little more. A little more. That's too much. I wasn't paying attention for a second there. Yeah, so hopefully this is a good view. Maybe it's going to be completely anticlimactic and we won't be able to see anything at all. But hopefully we get a nice little view of the thing. There you go. I think that's a good enough safe range for me to warp there. So anyway, there's the planet. Let's go ahead and enjoy the... And then you haven't seen the probe. This is the probe that I launched. Tank, science experiments everywhere. Radiators, just in case for radiation, in case it got hot here. Nuclear generated radiostopic generators and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and you should probably go see the other episode if you want to see this thing do its thing around the moons and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll probably put a thing at the end or a link down the description maybe. I don't know. So yeah, there goes the moon, Augustus, and the other little moon going in front of us right there. Very cool stuff. You can get a nice little view here. We go a lot closer in the other episode, episode 19, so go ahead and watch it. I'm pretty sure you're going to have a nice little fun experience when you do. Promise. So, yeah, here we go. You can see the bands of the storm bands going around the planet. A little bit of thunder storms here and there. Very cool stuff. We're probably gonna lose communication with the home system planet because we're going behind the planet. I don't think we get communication out of that. I just don't think we do. And if we do, we probably should get that looked at. That matters at least. So yeah, a lot of thunder. A lot of thunder, fellas. So anyway. Yeah, we're getting... Ooh, very nice, very nice. It's a little too dark. But we can see the thunder though. So yeah, guys. I'm ending the episode here. Thanks for watching. And all that stuff. Like and comment. Share the video so other people can get to see this beautiful thunderstorms going on here. Yeah. Comment suggestions on how you want me to do differently. Maybe you want me to go to a particular planet or moon, land on it or something like that. And if you do, make sure to do that. Ooh, very beautiful storms. I love it. I love it. Look at that. Very nice. Yep, very cool. So yeah, if you want me to go anywhere in particular, go ahead and tell me. I will go ahead and go to that next episode. I mean, not on the next episode, the next couple of episodes, like in the next 2 or 3. So yeah, do that. Help support the channel by, doing the normal YouTube thing. And by that I mean subscribe and comment and like and share. So I repeated that multiple times, but and it's important to us as a channel to grow, get a lot more viewers and stuff like that. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Hopefully we end up having a good episode, since it is a big deal. So yeah, goodbye. I'll let you enjoy the storm a little bit more, I think.